Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
Hello, one and all. Welcome. This is our legacy sequel episode.
Yeah.
Let's get down. Let's get back to the 80s, right?
Woo.
The heat is on and all that. Jazz. Explosions. Fireworks. I'm trying to get Rich all geared up for this. It's like, way. Wham. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm there. It's hard. I had basically no sleep last night, so I'm quite tired.
But here we are, as ever,
Indeed.
on a Friday, for people's entertainment, hopefully. We are Unequal Sequel. We are the podcast that talk about sequels.
Yes,
sometimes
we do.
prequels. My name is Dave. His name is Rich. And this is a review episode. A review episode!
Woo.
I was about to say it's not going to be a spoiler episode, but...
It might be a little bit.
It might be, but the film... We'll get to it. Doesn't try very hard to hide things.
No, not at all. You know, I watched it with my wife and she went, he's the baddie, isn't he? Literally the second he came on screen.
He doesn't even hide it. He's literally having like a banner around his neck saying, I'm the bad guy. Anyway, we are talking today about a 4 film in a franchise, a famous one that's been running since 1982, but hasn't had a film since 1994.
Wow. And that one in 1994
gap.
Was not good.
Not good.
Not
We'll
good.
get to that. We are talking about it's a franchise now, a Beverly Hills Cop franchise.
So this franchise is basically as old as me.
It's older than me.
It's old, man.
I feel old, so this film has to feel old. But it gives a good attempt at trying to feel young and, whoa.
Yes.
Juice left in the can and all that bollocks.
Have we said what we're actually doing?
I said we're doing the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, but we're doing Beverly Hills Cop
4, Axel F.
I don't even think it's got a 4
in it. No.
It feels like they're going to try and do something else, but I don't know where that would go afterwards, after Axel's not in it. Yes, we're doing Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. That can be watched on Netflix. It's a Netflix film.
It is a Netflix film. Which
I do appreciate this week. Was great. I think I would have liked to see it on the cinema, and I would have gone.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm glad you watched it on a small screen, because after watching Bad Boys, the most recent one, I was worried about you going this one. But what keeps me with a little glimmer of hope is you are a man of the 80s.
Well, I mean, I was born in the 80s, yeah. That's true.
Early 80s.
Yeah, early 80s, yeah.
You saw most of them through. I only saw half of them.
I did, yeah.
Is the Beverly Hills Cop films a big thing to you at all?
Yes. 1 and 2, definitely. 3, not so much. But yeah, 1 and 2, absolutely. I remember dancing the robot to the Axel F theme tune at a birthday party when I was like 6.
Very catchy tune. I believe the Beverly Hills Cop films are the first 2. We'll talk about that third one in a minute. Are some of the early films that like dads show their sons or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think you can get away with it.
Felt very much like a family kind of movie back then. Really isn't, though.
It's not. It's definitely not. My favourite thing about the second one is Axel or Eddie Murphy is just calling Bridget Nielsen that big blonde bitch for most of it.
Yeah.
Also, the fact in the second one that in all the crimes, there's been this like 7-foot-tall blonde woman, and no one's gone to question the 7-foot-tall blonde woman that works in a gun range. It's confusing, but whatever. Yeah, those first 2 are brilliant, and I didn't know there was a third one until I got the box set at, I think, university.
Oh, really?
I was surprised. Right. So I said, I've never seen Beverly Hills.
I don't remember anything about the third one other than the drop-off in quality is, you can taste it. It's so much.
It's dramatic.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason I didn't know there was a third one, because no one talks about it.
No.
It's like it's a hidden secret and everyone just wants to keep it quiet,
Maybe
including
that's
Eddie Murphy.
Why this one isn't called 4. Maybe this one's called Axel F because they're trying to forget that 3 exists.
Maybe, but they do play a good joke in the movie about.
They do.
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
They do. I was going to see if you'd spotted that.
I appreciate that. They go through, like, he's going through his file of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, the policeman, who I've already forgotten his name is.
Detective
Chris.
Bobby Abbott.
Bobby. I was close with Chris. And he was saying, it was like 1982, and then 1985, and they went 1994, not your best work. And I loved that. Now, I've recently watched all of these in the last pretty much week because, as ever, as I do with most films, there's no better word than using it, I force my wife to watch these films. And I said, you should watch the first 2. You don't have to watch the third one. We don't have to watch it. I'll show you a trailer. That will pretty much show you what's going on and what's happening. It came up the other night and said, should we watch the third one? And I went, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, how bad can it be?
Oh, bad.
Awful. Like, really bad. And she was so surprised about the drop-off. And then 5 minutes into this one, she was like, this is already better than the third one. Which is, a plus.
It is,
in our household.
I also watched this film with my wife, who has never seen Beverly Hills Cop before, ever. So this was her introduction to the franchise. And surprisingly, she did. She did go to bed before the end, but she is going to watch the rest.
Sure. Before we move on, we should probably get one of your classic synopsises.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we probably should, shouldn't we?
I mean, to be honest, if you've watched this film, I think the plot and the synopsis is the thing that no one really worried about, even making the film.
I'm going to keep this pretty light.
Fine.
Okay. Axel Foley goes back to Beverly Hills to help his daughter, who's got mixed up with some cartel stuff. She's defending a client. She's now a solicitor. He's been estranged from her for many years. They don't get on. She's a solicitor defending a client who's up for murder that they didn't commit, and they've been framed.
A policeman.
The murder of a policeman.
Undercover policeman.
Yes.
That's very important.
Her ex, Detective Bobby Abbott, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is investigating that case, or has been investigating that case. The case is now closed, but he doesn't want to let it go because he doesn't think the guy's guilty and he thinks there's more to it. In the meantime, Billy Rosewood has gone missing. He called Axel. That's the reason Axel's coming to LA, but he's gone missing and they're trying to find him.
Because Billy's a PI.
He's not a cop anymore. He's quit. Now he's a PI. And Taggart, Billy's partner from the other 2 movies, is now the chief of police. He looks very old. Yeah, but how that happened, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Taggart was the least effective of all of them, which, hey, could be why.
I read something the other day, and sorry, you can carry on a minute, that in the first film, the character, John Ashton, whatever his name is, who's brilliant in Midnight Run, by the way.
Yes.
Was only 35 in that first film.
Really?
Apparently so.
35?
He looks
much older. Okay.
Anyway, carry on.
I mean, that's basically it, isn't it, really? And then they go and solve the crime.
There are some returning characters.
Oh, yeah, there is, yeah. So Serge comes back. Less said about that, the better, I think.
And Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Reiser's character, who's been promoted.
Yes, he's deputy chief, but not in LA. He's in
Beverly Hills Cop. He took over from Todd, whatever.
Yeah, so he's back in Detroit, right? So he was Axel's partner in Detroit.
He tried to be Axel's partner, and it seems Axel would never let him actually be his partner. Right, he was always just covering for him.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, there you go on that one. And that's it, really. That's all I can give you without being too spoilery. Not that there's lots to spoil, but I don't want to give it away. Honestly, the story doesn't. Now instead. The story doesn't really go that much deeper into that as it is. As we said, the nameless bad guy, who we'll talk about probably in the last 4 minutes of the review. Yes, okay. Is so obvious. He might as well just smile and point to the camera and be like, "Yeah, it's me."
It's me. Huh? Huh?
It's more obvious than if you guys have seen Bad Boys than the Bad Boys bad guy.
I would say it's very similar levels of obviousness, yeah.
But it's also, this whole film is trying to tap in to the same things that the Bad Boy that film was trying to, right?
Well,
the nostalgia, the 80s nostalgia.
Yes, there's quite a bit of that, I would say.
I would say it's dripping.
I would say the first 10 minutes, the kind of the introduction Axel Foley scene is vintage Beverly Hills Cop. That's exactly what you expect from these movies. Axel going off on one and the chief of police being like, "Don't damage any city property!" Ah! And yeah, it's very much kind of vintage Beverly Hills Cop. What I will say is, fair play to Eddie Murphy, because Axel feels more grown up somehow.
Yeah.
He's way less manic than he is in the other ones. He's still funny, but he's not quite as wild and crazy. He's still witty.
I think he's starting to realise that his powers are waning a little bit. He does try to do that thing when he tries to talk himself into a lot of places. And
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work in this film.
No.
And even once he gives up halfway through and he's like, I'm just tired. Can I have... And then the Shield's like, that's $925 a room. He's like, I love Beverly Hills.
But his daughter is very good at it, it turns out.
Well, you got to remember, Eddie Murphy is 63 now.
Yeah.
Looks incredible.
Doesn't look it. No, yeah, he looks very... And it's also nice to see an Eddie Murphy movie where he's not a donkey.
Yeah.
Or, covered in some sort of, prosthetics.
Or just being bad. I feel like, especially compared to the last Beverly Hills Cop, I know that was 30 years ago now. Fucking hell. 30 years ago. And you can watch that film, you can tell his heart's not in that one.
Yeah.
It really feels just horrible to watch for a lot of it. Plus, it's directed by John Landis, and he's a horrible man. So... Right,
okay.
Do you not know about John Landis?
No, don't spoil my childhood.
You should Google John Landis.
Oh, really? Oh, no, I don't want to. I'm going to do it later.
John Landis, Twilight Zone, okay? We'll move on from that. Again, he's made some brilliant films, but...
Not a nice man.
Not a nice man. This film has been in development for years as well, hasn't it? They've been trying to make this since just after Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
And I've just read on Wikipedia all the attempts to try and get made over the years. And I was talking about horrible men. Brett Ratner was in charge of trying to get it made between like 2010 and 2015. So that would have been awful. And I never thought it would be made. And as soon as I was about to press play, I had a little moment. I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm about to watch a new Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy in it. And that put a smile on my face. And so, I think it was oozing. The nostalgia being the characters coming back and stuff like that. And you're 100% right that his powers are waning.
It's not that. I don't think it's necessarily his powers are waning.
But his powers are waning.
He plays it differently. He's a different Axel than he is in the others. It's nice that he's grown and he's not the same. I kind of like that. That
he's grown up, man.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing, that he's grown up. And I actually think, the introduction of Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Taylor Page as younger characters are actually really good. Sometimes you get these legacy sequels and the new younger characters are a bit crap. But actually, I really like them. Their chemistry's really good together. They add that extra element of
they are good together.
He's very straight and she's very kind of wild and gets away with stuff. She's very much her father's daughter, and he's a bit more like Billy and Taggart are in the first couple of movies. It's good. I like it. I enjoyed it.
I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt had good chemistry with Eddie Murphy as well. Especially there's a whole helicopter scene, which I thought was great, really funny.
I agree.
Did you think the use of the legacy characters of Billy and Taggart was good?
Well, Billy's barely in it.
Well, so's Taggart, and they're barely in it together, which was the sad thing.
They're never in it together until the end.
Right at the end.
And then it's right at the end, and I was like,
yeah,
that's what I wanted. I kind of needed them back together a bit more.
I wondered if they were holding out for that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, Judge Reinhold's, John Ashton, they're getting on a bit now. Like, yeah. So, but yeah, maybe that's why they weren't in it quite so much. I don't think we needed Serge back.
That again was just for laughs, I say?
I guess so. I'm like, I didn't have many laughs with it, to be fair, but hey, there we are.
I didn't need him back in part 3, and there he was, and then he turns up in... I mean, he is brilliant in that first one. Apparently that was a lot of improv between him and Eddie Murphy in that first one. Shut the fuck up and all that.
Yeah.
It was. Hopefully they played on that again. I'm really scared about asking the question, Rich, if you liked it or not. Because it sounds like you kind of did.
I did like it. It's not amazing. I didn't love it, but I did like it.
Okay, positive. I'm going to slowly go in a bit deeper, ladies and gentlemen. Were you expecting to like it?
I wasn't. I've got to be honest. I was expecting a Coming to America.
Yes.
I was expecting it to be bad, like a bad retread of like, weren't the first two good? And it wasn't. You know, it genuinely wasn't. Very much a retread of the first movie. There's nothing massively new here. You know, there isn't anything
it's the same music
wild.
Well.
Yeah, it's all the same music. It's very kind of 80s vibes. It's very kind of nostalgic in that sense. But it's not like... At no point did I find it dull. At no point did I find it too much. You know, it's probably a bit flabby in the middle. But then show me a 40-year-old who isn't a bit flabby in the middle. Like, you know,
True.
It's 2 hours long and it probably could have been an hour and a half, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably my only major criticism of it. It's not, like, groundbreaking. The plot's not incredible. The script is not amazing. The bad guy is just, you know, comic, really.
Yes.
But
yes.
I had a lot of fun with it.
It's a nice playful watch, wasn't it? It goes along quite nicely. It's delightful watching Eddie Murphy being Axel Foley and having a good time. He doesn't drop the laugh, which is a little bit sad in any of it.
Well, again, I think he's grown up a bit.
Oh, he can still laugh, Rich.
Maybe his laugh is different these days. Yeah.
Maybe the laugh has gone when his daughter left him, and
maybe
stuff like that. I loved that it started with the heat is on, and you know, stuff like that. I did wonder how they were going to get him back to Beverly Hills, but I thought that was okay.
That was okay.
The introduction
My wife
of the
said
daughter.
It reminded her of Mannequin. Bear in mind she hasn't seen any Beverly Hills Cop movies, so that's her 80s reference.
Oh.
And I was like, yes, that's 80s too.
I don't think it's like Mannequin at all.
No, I think she just meant the music and the general vibes.
Oh, yes, I get that. So, bad guy, spoiler. Yeah. There is also Kevin Bacon in this film.
Yes.
The wonderful, delightful, charismatic.
And now anyone watching knows who the bad guy is. But that isn't really a spoiler, because literally you watch this movie and Kevin Bacon is on screen for a millisecond and you're like, bad guy.
Bad guy.
It's
so obvious. And I'm not quite sure they were trying to hide it or make it difficult for people to be, who could it be? It's very plain and obvious right from the start. But he's fun as the bad guy.
Yeah. Also, his mate is like the bad guy from Lost and the devil from Supernatural. Like,
oh, okay.
You know, it's like definitely bad guys.
Rent a bad guy, it seems then.
I can't remember what his name is.
Do you want to do the quick Rotten Tomato game of higher, lower, and whatever with the Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah, we're there already. Crikey.
We've gone
through this one nice and fast, haven't we?
So we'll start at the first. which was released in 1984. I've been saying 82. It's 84.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it said. Released on the 5th of December, 1984.
Oh, so it's like I was like 3 when it came out then. So, it's not quite as old as me.
Which was so...
Oh, I've just thought of something. Luis Guzman is in this, playing like...
Oh, I forgot about him.
A very camp, cartel guy. And it's awesome. I really like it. He's definitely channeling his Gomez Adams kind of vibe.
It's a fun cameo.
I am there for it.
Yeah. It's a fun cameo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, come on then. Let's do these things.
Beverly Hills, what do you reckon?
It's going to be a tricky one because I'm imagining a lot of the reviews are going to be kind of present day reviews rather than...
But that first one's aged pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to say... I think it's pretty strong. I'm going to say 73%.
81%.
81. I was toying with an 80s, and I thought that maybe that's too much.
The audience score, do you want to know that as well? Or do you want to have a guess?
Yeah, I reckon that's higher. I reckon 89%.
82%.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
So, higher or lower, Beverly Hills Cop 2?
I would say lower. I actually think I prefer 2, but I think most people think it's lower.
So this was released in 1987. There lots of people... Well, the first one is directed by Martin Brest, isn't it? Who's a good director. And the second one is directed by Tony Scott.
Yes.
And you can tell it's a Tony Scott film.
Tony Scott, wild back catalogue of movies.
What a man he was. What a great director.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to go with... Oh, this is really hard. 75.
Oof. 48%.
No! 48!
Yeah, for critics.
Beverly Hills Cop 2 is better than that.
Better than that.
Definitely better than that.
Audience score.
That's wrong. Audience, I'm really hoping the audience is higher. I'm going to go with... Oh, what am I going to do? 62%.
Oh, I know that hurt to say that, didn't it?
Did, yeah.
It's 58%.
Oh, no, wrong. It should be higher than that.
I think that's very wrong.
Yeah.
I with you on some days, I think Beverly Hills Cop 2 might be better just for the Tony Scott factor.
I like it. I'm a big fan.
I'm surprised these haven't really popped up on our discussion of Best, Worst or Dream sequel at some point. Okay, Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Now,
this one was released in 94.
This is bad. I'm just going to go off what I think. I'm going to say 17%.
Ooh, meanie. 11%.
11, but you called me a meanie and it was lower than me. I'm not surprised. It is terrible.
Yeah, and it hasn't aged well at all. And it's definitely the one that no one speaks about at all. And it's just, even the way they filmed it looks awful and it looks lazy and it's not, there's rumours that Eddie Murphy didn't want to be funny anymore on it, or he was always clashing with John Landis and some horrible stories about that. But still, it's not good. And that brings us to Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
Oh, do you want to do the audience then?
Oh, what was the audience? What do you think? Sorry.
20?
35.
Okay.
Which is kind.
Bit too high, really. Yeah, that is kind.
That's kind.
Yeah. So, Axel F.
Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
I think this is very much a 3 out of 5 kind of movie. So I feel like most people would score it 3 out of 5, which means on Rotten Tomatoes it will do pretty well.
For critics, we're talking.
Yeah, well, this is really hard. 66%.
66%. You are close.
Okay.
65%.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to go higher.
No, because I think critics can be a bit sniffy about this sort of legacy sequel and stuff. And actually, whilst it's all right, it's not amazing. And I think it'd have to be amazing to get lots of critics to like it. But I do think genuinely it's a 3 out of 5 movie. And so therefore it should score positively on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. But that's not fresh or whatever it is it?
No.
I'm not even quite sure if you could see 65 as good or bad.
I'd say it's better than half. So it's got to be all right. Okay. What about audience?
A lot less ratings as the previous 3, but still.
Okay.
Over 1,000 plus ratings apparently. So
70, bang on.
Okay, as it stands in 2024 in July, I was only going to say June, for those who are listening in the future or the past, it is currently at 80%.
Oh, okay.
I think this is definitely more of an audience.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's going to come down as there are a few more reviews potentially. But it is a 3 out of 5 movie, so.
But it has got some nice big action sequences that you can kind of say where the money was spent. I think a little bit. I think it looks good.
Yeah. Oh, it does look good actually. Yeah, it does.
As a legacy sequel, it's fun. I'm going to ask you a question, and I think you're going to say it's better than Bad Boys 4.
Do you know, I think it is.
I think you're wrong, but I admire that.
I probably am wrong, in reality, but I think I enjoyed it more than Bad Boys.
Is that because you watched it at home? No.
I think I genuinely enjoy Beverly Hills Cop a bit more than Bad Boys anyway.
Yeah, okay.
As a genre, I find Eddie Murphy quite funny.
When Eddie Murphy is on form, nobody can touch him.
Yeah, that's true.
Those early films are incredible.
Yeah. And things like Trading Places and stuff, which is just outstanding. He's so good.
Even Coming to America, as in not coming to America.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, the first Coming to America movie. I mean, even Shrek. He's so good in Shrek as Donkey.
Do you know what film I like of his recent one? It's not even recent now. It's probably 20 years old. Is I Spy with Owen Wilson. For some reason, I love that movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
I love that movie. It's weird. Don't know why.
I've not seen it. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't comment on that, mate.
Well, hopefully it comes up on Disenfranchised, because I was hoping it's going to be a sequel, and there never was.
Okay.
Boo!
Do you want to? Do you know when I Spy came out?
Go on.
2002.
Fuck off.
22 years ago, mate.
You're still young, Dave.
It's only a year older than Shrek. A year younger than Shrek, I should say, sorry.
I remember seeing that in cinema and thinking it was great. 22 years.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose Beverly Hills Cop is that old as well.
Yeah.
Now.
Have you ever seen Life? I really enjoyed that movie as well.
With Martin Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of his good ones, funny ones.
No, it's a good one. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Dave or Just Words or stuff like that?
No.
Bad films.
Bad
Films. His Christmas one wasn't bad, actually. Was it last year? Candy Cane Lane, whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah. No, that was all right, actually.
That was all right.
Just all right, though. It wasn't amazing. It was all right.
It's better than a lot of the Christmas rubbishes out there at the moment.
Yeah.
So, let's do the question. Let's Unequal sequel, and what would you get it at 7?
So we are comparing it to Beverly Hills Cop 3.
3, yes.
So 100% it's an unequal sequel. It's a lot better than that old shite.
If I took 3 out of it, where would it be?
Oh.
I can't even believe you're thinking about
That's
this.
hard.
No.
It's third.
Yeah.
It is third, yeah.
It's third.
But it's not far away.
No, I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know if I've really enjoyed it watching Axel F. I loved it. I had a huge smile on my face for all of it. I loved the music beats. I loved the action beats. I thought everyone was playing off each other quite well. I would have liked to seen Taggart and Rosewood
together
a little bit earlier, or even the 3 of them all together.
Just Axel popping up in the back of the car when they're like, they're supposed to be following him and stuff. That
was a nice little touch.
It was a nice little touch.
It's a shame that Billy kind of disappeared for three-quarters
most
of the movie.
of it, yeah.
And stuff like that. But the Surge bit didn't harm me in any way. I was like, look who he is. I wonder if they've kept in touch all this time, or is this just a random call out of the blue and stuff like that. Also, he says what happened to the art studio. It wasn't his art studio in the first one, was it? Wasn't it Axel's friend, the blonde woman's?
I don't remember. Okay. I'm sorry, mate.
I was like, he's lies. They didn't talk about his weapons job they had in the third one. Anyway, so we both agree it's unequal compared to the third one.
Yes.
In quite a big gap.
Yeah. A really big gap, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the third one overall. Score it, my friend.
I think, like I said, I think it's a solid 3 out of 5. So that makes it like 4.5 out of 7. I think it sits about there for me.
I think it's about 4.5. I think they couldn't have done any better with it, because to get people interested in it or coming back to it, I think they've learned that nostalgia, it plays a big part. Yeah. I think it's really important. I think they've learned that over the last few years of what that returning audience wants. But I do think they've done enough there for a new generation. I don't want to make us sound like we're old, Rich.
We are, though, mate. We're old and crusty and ready for the scrap heap.
But I hope that there's some young'uns out there that have watched that movie and then are going back to the original two from the 80s and reconnecting with them.
Yeah, I hope so.
They are really funny and the shootouts are good. And I can only imagine what they would have been like if they made now like today's technology kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think this was, like I said earlier, I can't believe I was watching a Beverly Hills Cop 4, and for a film that I never thought was going to ever be made because of all the problems and whatever, I was fully satisfied, and it itched that craving I had for it to watch. And there are rumours, because this is a Netflix film now, and if it does stupidly well on Netflix, if like 90 billion people watch it or whatever, you might get another one.
I don't think it even has to do that well, but what I think, because Netflix has got the rights for all the other Beverly Hills Cop movies, right? I think if lots of people go back and watch the old ones, Netflix will be like, got it. Like that's a win for them too.
My worry is that it's now going to be Beverly Hills Cop : something else. They've used Axel F as a. By the way, I hate that name.
Yeah, me too.
Using a way in, I'm not quite sure if we're going to have Beverly Hills Cop : Bobby what's his face.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what they'll do, but
yeah,
I think there's some. I mean, if Eddie Murphy did another one, brilliant. I don't think he's got many more in him. I've watched interviews with him, and he said it was hard work. I mean, his knees are not what they used to be, are they?
No, I can imagine.
Well, the first one he did when he was 22, 24 or something, stupidly young. And my knees are not what they used to be either. So I was like, I get you.
My knees weren't what they used to be when I was 20. They're definitely not what they used to be now. I've got arthritis, for God's sake.
Running around like that as a 63-year-old or whatever. I mean, good for him. And as long as, he's happy and it shows that on screen, I'd watch another one. I'd be happy. I'll come back. I really wanted to see this on the big screen, to be honest. And I'm sad it didn't happen. We didn't get invited to any screenings. Guys.
Yeah.
Damn them. But, it is what it is at this point. And thank you for Netflix for actually making it. But I think this would have done well at the box office. Do you think?
I think it would have done. Probably not amazing, given like what we've seen recently. But Bad Boys has done pretty well. So I think maybe this would have done okay. Yeah,
that'd be interesting. But we're not going to know. So that's a shame. But let us know what you think, guys. Let us get in contact. And Rich is going to tell you how and when and why now.
I am Yeah, you can get in contact on all the social medias. Just type in Unequal Sequel into the search bar and we will pop up. Tell us what you thought of Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. You can also get in touch with us on the email. We are unequalsequel@hotmail.com. And if you want to know what we thought of other movies, such as Quiet Place, Part 1. I'm guessing it's called Part 1. No,
Day 1.
Day 1. We only just recorded that last week.
Yeah.
Then go back and have a listen. There's loads of these reviews that we've done. There have been quite a few sequels recently and prequels. So yeah, go back and have a listen. While you're there, give all the interview episodes a listen as well, but also give us a subscribe, give us a little heart or a tick or a like, 5 stars. Even if you feel like it, tap out a little review for us. That always really helps, and we would really like that. If you really love us, get yourself onto anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, and you can find loads of extra bonus material there, like Box Set Mentality, like Disenfranchised, and all the bonus bits for all the interview episodes that we've done. Basically, loads of bang for your buck. And yeah, that's about it.
Well done, man. Well done. You nailed it. Thank you, everyone. Send in your thoughts to all the places that Rich just said. We want to hear from them. Want to hear from you, our wonderful, glorious listeners. Next week is Despicable Me 4 week. You can tell that Rich is excited to see those little yellow fellas again.
I kind of am.
This is one of our picks that we think is going to make serious money this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Because Inside Out 3 has made 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I mean, I think
in 3 weeks.
I think animation is where the money is these days.
I think it might be. I think you might be right. Anyway, so look forward to that next week. We also, check out Another Slice, the Rambo box set, and keep going. I'm just talking rubbish now, so I'm going to stop talking. So it's a goodbye from me. Bye-bye. It's a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one. Sequel to this one. Have a good week.
Oh, right. I need to go and look up what John Landis has done now, I guess.
Oh, I'm so sorry you're going to read that before bed.
I don't think I want to know. Anyway.
It's not nice.
I'm going to do it.